Yeah, guys, we'll be starting in a couple of minutes because some of the other people are still joining in. We'll start in a couple of minutes. Hope all the parents and students are here, and yeah, we'll start in a couple of minutes. Hello, everyone. Hi. Hope you're all doing well. Hello, guys. Hi. Hope you're all doing well. Let me pin myself. Welcome to the final session of the workshop, and I'm glad that a lot of parents have joined in today's session because I think my team has made sure that they've sent a lot of messages and probably troubled you a little bit. But I think this will be worth it, worth the effort. So, firstly, good afternoon. It's a little late in India, but yeah, hi. You have completed 3 sessions of understanding mathematics in a rather fun way. Can any one of you here volunteer and tell us what we've learned so far? Any child here, probably. What have we learned so far? What did we learn in these 3 sessions? Okay, let's see. A lot of people are raising your hands. Let me pick one of you guys. Go, Janvi. Yeah, go ahead. What did we do?
We learned about being a math wizard.
Okay.
And then we learned about addition and subtraction and multiplying.
Sure. Great. Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Janvi. So basically, what I want all of you, let's say here, to understand is just, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I think Janvi sort of summed it up a little well. Apart from that, we also did math and music yesterday, which I think she was going to say, and a couple of other things. But here's what we have done. Let me write it down, right? What have we done is that one, we learned the story of math, right? Can I say that? How math came into existence and stuff like that. We learned how to be a math wizard, and we've talked about what do we say? How what did I tell you? That there are 2 things to be a math wizard. One is to understand the numbers, and the other is to understand the operations, right? Yeah. Do you remember we talked about all of this? We learned how to do quick multiplication and addition, and we talked about how to do calculations in a rather very different and a better way. We did all of this. Now, the methodology. Can everyone hear me? Give me a heads up. I'm not sure because it's lagging for me. Can you hear me? Yeah. So in the past 2 weeks, and this is for every parent out here, we have used a particular methodology to teach your children mathematics. This methodology is called experiential math learning, right? So what do I mean by that is that it's about teaching mathematics or mathematical learning by giving them examples, by giving them stories, and the most important thing is making them realize why some methods work. So broadly, for all the parents who are a part here, you can probably ask your children, and probably you did to all the children here, and we've sent up a couple of forms also. And it's glad to see that a lot of people understand that mathematics is not only about doing quick calculations, but it's a way you start thinking, right? So all of you might have heard that there is a Bacchus, there is Vedic math, there's Kuman, there's a lot of ways in which you can learn math. But I think the most important way to learn it is to make friends with it. And I think that is the procedure we have followed to learn. For instance, a quick example would be, and I'll probably ask this question out to everyone to see where you guys are at from whatever we've learned, is to add a number, which is let's say a 35 with a 26, right? There are a certain ways you do it, which is you add 5 and 6 and you make it 11, you put the 1 here, and then you do 4 and 6. To get this right, the child has to understand what basic addition is, needs to understand what carry is, and a bunch of things. But if you look at it, here the essence of mathematics is lost because this number is 30 and we are reading this as 3. So I'm going to quickly show what I have shown all these children on day 1, maybe a little show, which I've told Tana also that I'll probably take this moment to do this, is can anyone type in a very big number in the comment section? A big number, any big number, let's say a 5-digit or a 10-digit number in the comment section. Anyone? Okay, I'm gonna take. Okay, I'm gonna stop you guys from messaging more. Okay, there's a lot of numbers I've already gotten. Let me pick Ananya's number along with Raga's number. Okay, let me pick Ananya's number 6, 5, 7, 4, 5, 6. Just a second. 4, 5, 6, 3, and then Raga's number. Okay, let me pick 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 4, 9. That's a pretty big number, right? Let me multiply this with another number. Can all of you give me a single digit number, maybe? One single digit number, anything. Okay, I'm going to take the number which has come, which is 6, right? Do all of you see this? All the parents, and something which even every child here will be able to do by the end a little while is, the answer is 3944737874186994. That is the answer to this calculation which you see in front of you. I hold a bunch of world records to do this. But how do I do this? And how do you make children across the world be able to do this? Is that this big question has to be broken down into smaller problems to solve, right? Now, if you think about it, this is something which we have taught, and I think a bunch of students here would probably be able to learn. How many of you remember the method where we did addition of the numbers in between? Do you remember that? Who remembers that? Okay, you all remember it, right? Great. So how this essentially works is you take 6 times 6, which is 36, 5 times 6, which is 30, 7 times 6, which is 42, and similarly go on 24, 30, 36, 18, 06, 12, 18, and so on. Let me actually make this simpler. Let me just take a smaller question. Let me take a smaller question for you to understand. 6 times 6 is 36, 5 times 6 is 30, 7 times 6 is 42. All you need to do is just add this numbers here and these numbers here. The neighbors, right? These two are neighbors, these two are neighbors. Add the neighbors, the answer is 3942. That is the answer to this multiplication. Right? Now, this, for all the parents who are probably looking at it, will probably say, how many of you think that this is a trick? This is a good trick or whatever. Yeah. What I'm going to tell you is that this is not a trick. I'll tell you why. And I think this is very important for, and the reason why I've called out all the parents today is that I would want to teach and tell every parent out there of how this methodology or the way of learning is very different from teaching children tricks, because tricks don't matter. Let me tell you why. 657 times 6 is 600 times 6, which is 3600. 50 times 6 is 300. 7 times 6, which is 42. But these zeros don't matter. So effectively what we're doing is 36, 30, and 42, and we are merging these. Which means that we are making the children, now say your child is a 6-year-old. It's pretty hard for them to comprehend or understand why this works. But if you can make them understand why this works, they can create mathematical optimizations of their own. And I think that is the joy of learning mathematics, because I'll probably ask a lot of you guys that it is important to understand that mathematics is also created by people like us, right? So the joy of learning mathematics is when an individual, which is you, let's say be it Pranav, Prahay, Hasini, Anvi, Shrestha, or anyone else who's sitting here, is when you figure out why something works, right? That's when we sort of understand that, okay, math is not my enemy. Math is not something which I need to learn. It is there. I just need to observe really well. Cool. Now, putting this forward, I would probably want to tell about three things which I believe are the route towards mathematical success, or for that matter, starting to love math for a child. Point one, do not learn shortcuts. You might say, okay, that is very weird because Bhanu, you hold world records. You might say, why are you not teaching shortcuts? Right? Yeah. How many of you here, probably parents who are here, how many of you thought that this is going to be, let's say, a 4 week, 4 session thing is going to be teaching a bunch of tricks like Vedic math or whatever? How many of you thought that is the case before you joined it? Right? That's essentially what people think. How do you do quick calculations? By this. Now I'm going to tell you a short story, which I think I've told the students here, is that if you want to run a 100-meter race, because Olympics is happening recently, right, everyone? Now that we've seen Olympics, if you want to run a 100-meter race, you need to run. You can't take a car. The moment you start taking a car to do this or learn a shortcut, be it abacus, be it Vedic mathematics, be it anything which tells you tricks like, oh, how do you do 25 into 25? Take 2, multiply by 3, which is 6, put a 25 next to it. These don't matter. If the child does not understand, I do not understand. If they don't understand a particular reason of why something works, then the mathematical journey is not good. So my key takeaway to all the students here and all the parents is, for all the students, be it Varshita, Jashwant, Ishan, or anyone else who's here, if your math teacher tells you this is the method, I want you to ask, why is this the method? Do you understand that? Will all of you do that from now on? Anything you learn, if someone says this is how it is, you need to ask why. Does that make sense? Because if you do not understand why, there's no point of learning math, right? There's no point of learning math. So to the parents here, encourage the why and the curious questions of your child. Something as simple as, why does the number 10 come after number 9? Ask your child that, because they have learned this in this last 3 sessions. Why does the number 10 come after number 9, guys? Why do we not have 12 numbers? Why do we not have 15 numbers? Why do we not have 20 symbols? We've talked about this. Absolutely. All of you are giving me the answers. It is because we have 10 fingers and humanity and people like that. So it is important to answer these questions as we progress. Anything, be it when you learn calculations, be it when you learn geometry, be it when you learn squares, be it when you learn circles, be it when you learn physics, be it when you learn chemistry, be it when you learn coding. Anything. Ask why. Irritate the teacher. Ask why. If the teacher says, okay, if Bhanu tells, I am the world's fastest human calculator, you should tell me why. I need to Google and show you that I am the fastest human calculator. Everything needs proof. Yeah. That is how you become a very, very good mathematician. Point 2, a very big takeaway which I would want everyone to do is, speed is not as important as the journey. So in your child's journey of becoming 3 times quicker at exploring infinities, as you see, this is the brand which I head, which is my academy in terms of teaching my learnings and becoming the fastest human calculator to children across the world. We have around what, 1,500 students across the world, 300 and 400 students in the United States who are a part of our yearly classes, which happen across the year. And we have seen that kids become 4 times quicker, 5 times quicker, do wonders in math, crack Olympiads. That's not as important as the child loving math is, right? So find what you like in math. I think that's what I would say, which is point 2. What do you like in math? Maybe think about it, right? Maybe calculations are boring. How many of you find calculations boring? Let's be genuine here. right? Let's be genuine. Raise your hand. How many of us find art more interesting? Yeah. How many of us find language more interesting? Poems, whatever, right? But what I'm telling you is that all of these also have math in it. Whether you want to code, whether you want to create a robot, whether you would want to create an artificial intelligence system, whether you would want to do this, whether you would want to build a building, architecture, Lego blocks, whatever. You want to build out a PUBG game, you need math behind it, right? So learn the kind of math which encourages you. To all the parents here, the reason why 95% of the children eventually end up hating mathematics is because they never find their love for it. And we at Exploring Infinities do that all the time. We all care about how will the child fall in love with math, right? Do we teach them art with math? Do we teach them music with math? How many of you attended the music in math session? Do you find that fun? Right? Is fun, right? So to learn mathematics from the world around you is very important because I think that's how it is. And the third and the final thing, which is a lot of people try to differentiate. I think a lot of parents would have a concern. All of this is nice, but will this help my student in SATs? Will this help my student in the GREs? Will this help them to crack the ACT scores? Whatever, will we get into an Ivy college, right? A lot of these questions. My kid. So how is that done? So my answer is simple. If you can build out an environment for your child to be curious, no college would be a big deal. Me myself, right? I'm from India. I've worked with all the big colleges in the world you can think of. On the August 15th, you're going to be seeing me featured in the Independence Day video, which the Prime Minister of India is releasing along the side of a lot of Olympians, which is a celebration for mathematical culture itself. What I would want to tell is that that the outcomes of whether you'd crack SATs. See, at Exploring Infinities, more than 1,500 kids have been a part of. Hundreds of kids have gotten absolute full SAT scores and stuff, but I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of that alone. I'm more proud of children who have become curious of math and are creating the things of tomorrow. Because for a lot of parents here, and I think a lot of students here is, how many students or parents are sitting in the session think coding is very important, it's going to make my child very creative, whatever? Yeah, I do believe it. Absolutely, right? It is the creation, Silicon Valley. This is how you're gonna ace yourself, be the generation of tomorrow. What I'm also telling you is that is only to, and I think a lot of people, right, from Tana, I have been talking to multiple Telugu people. I'm a Telugu person myself. I'm from Hyderabad. I know what and how we look at, what do we say, technology as the ultimate thing to be achieving. Let me tell you this. In the last 2 years, 92% of the global technological patents and innovations have been by mathematicians. Only 5% of them have been, 8% of them have been from computer scientists. The Ubers, Netflixes, Spotify's of the Silicon Valley require more mathematicians than computer scientists, because there is a huge separation between people who can think and create versus people who can implement and go beyond. Which is why I would sincerely request all of you to, I'm sure does everyone child here understand renewable resources and let's say exhaustible resources, inexhaustible resources? Have you heard of this? Like petrol or gasoline are things which will get extinct, but air will always be there and stuff like that. There is one particular element of a student's journey which is very important, and we as educators or teachers have been neglecting it for ages as parents. I think it's curiosity. The moment you give your child an answer to a question, you have lost, because you have not let your child ask that question, right? That's how I see it. Because the moment they ask your question, they are the Eurekas and the Aristotles. The moment they consume, they are just a student. They are not a creator. And I think that's what I, as a what do we say, as an individual from India with Exploring Infinities. And thanks a lot for Tana for giving this platform, because I didn't want to do this on day one. On day one on the show, if I spoke about this, this wouldn't have made sense to you because of whatever, right? You've seen what it is. I'll open up for questions from parents, before which I will tell that Exploring Infinities is offering a year-long courseware for students in the United States at their respective times, for and by the teachers who are a part of my inner circle at Exploring Infinities, who are putting at least 50 to 60 hours a week into making a child's experience of math as fruitful as it can be. And I believe that this captures my 15 years of journey, my 15 years of journey in understanding math into these 100 or 200 sessions of learning math the right way. And I believe that the difference is this, right? Your child goes to a PT class. How many of you go to a PT class in school? Physical training. Have you gone there before? A physical training class where they make you do exercise and stuff. Yeah. Do you also play a sport? Any sport? Do you play any sport? Which one do you like more? The physical training exercise or the sport? What do you like more? Put it in the comment section, all of you. Okay. Sport, both. Both is nice. Sport. Okay. Sport. No one said physical training. Right. Okay. No one said physical training. That's because we in general like things which engage us, right? As human beings. And that's what we at Exploring Infinities aim to do. Make math a cultural sport, make math a phenomenon. And we are spending, what do we say, thousands of efforts talking to millions of children, documenting hundreds of terabytes of data to understand how every child learns, right? How every single child can and is capable of learning and loving maths the right way, right? And that's where we are at. So this is my call out to parents. Maybe you can ask any questions which there are, because we have Krishna, Prachotan, and Uday from my side, Exploring Infinities, who will be running you through what programs we have and stuff like that in the next 20 minutes or so before. But I would be more than happy to talk about anything absolutely by the parents, because or the students, whatever questions you have. And I'm looking at questions here. Akshara's side asks me, till what level of math can students understand? And will they practically understand what to solve math up to differential integration? I'm not sure whether this is asked by the student or the parent, but children are capable of doing wonders. And for the people who think that their child or ward is like, oh, they are not good at math, eventually they do much better than the other people. Because lazy people do very well in math. I am the laziest person I know. Yeah. Yes. And since I am the laziest person I know, and I also think that that makes me a better mathematician, I think a lot of potential is there in people and kids who always try to find better ways to do it. Absolutely. And okay, I'm going to take a couple of more questions before passing it on to Prachotan, who will be talking a little more about what it is, maybe.
I have actually, seen a lot of questions, and I've heard this question very, very prevalently. Like, will my child be at least nearly as quick as Mr. Bhanu? Right?
Also, Prachotan, just a second. For all the parents here and students who are here, I think maybe you missed out. Prachotan is one of the most famous Carnatic classical musicians in India, who's a part of Exploring Infinities and culture building with math. You can actually go Google him later. Has done tons of performances and work with Balasubramanyam Garu, Balamurali Krishna in Carnatic classical music. Prachotan, go on. Not you.
Yeah. So a lot of parents have asked personally me, like, if my child learns this kind of mathematics, will they become as quick as Mr. Bhanu or nearly as quick as Mr. Bhanu, right? So my answer would be simple, right? It's very, very simple. So what Mr. Bhanu has attained is, of course, by using these optimized methods, and everything that he has learned has been condensed into these courses, right? But having said that, what he has done is through vigorous practice and a lot of other things, right? I'm not going to say that your child is going to become the next Bhanu. That's for sure, because that would be crazy, right? Because if I say that if you learn this 1-year course, or if you learn this 4-month course or anything, you will become like Mr. Bhanu. That's false. Let me tell you that. But what I can tell you is that these courses that we are offering are probably the best way to start your child's journey. That is for sure, because these actually make your child, again, like Mr. Bhanu said, calculating quickly ultimately is important, but till then, if you want to use a shortcut or a tool, you can always use a calculator, right? So in the calculator, if you can type fast, you can always get the answer very quickly. But why should we do quick calculations with our brain? It is because if you use organic methods which optimize your learning pathways, your brain will actually become much, much better. And it's not like it's restricted to only calculations or restricted to only your classroom or exams or whatever. So whatever you do, be it art, be it music, be a musician like me. So if you learn math the right way, you can excel in any field that you choose in the future, or any field that you are interested in the future as well. And even right now, if you look around you, everywhere you can involve math in it. And yesterday was itself a testament. We never thought music and math could be even remotely related, right? So these are two entirely different things, right? But having said that, we could actually relate to them, okay? Relate math and music in a very, very effective manner. So that's what we exactly do at Exploring Infinities. So basically what happens in these courses, I'll just, take a couple of minutes to tell you that I have been one of the researchers of this curriculum, right? I have worked closely with Mr. Bhanu and his close-knit team as well. So not only Mr. Bhanu designed the entire curriculum, but even the trainers who will be taking this courses are, they are personally trained by Mr. Bhanu as well. They are a part of his inner circle too. And more importantly, what happens during these courses is that there will be so much of learning in these live sessions. So all the classes are pure live classes. It's not like we are going to give you recorded sessions, or we are going to play something and your student just attends it. So the trainers are such that they are very, very, very passionate about interacting with kids. They're very proficient in mathematics, and most importantly, they will ask questions so that students ask more questions and learn further. This is the learning culture that we establish in classes, right? It's not like we say, this is the concept, now do these problems, now do the homework, now you got these many marks, okay? And all these kind of things. That is not going to happen. The trainers actually encourage students to ask more questions so that they in return ask more questions. I think Mr. Bhanu has something to add on, if I'm not wrong.
Just a second. I think there were a couple of other important questions which were put in. I think one was majorly around how Vedic mathematics and this are different. Now, guys, Vedic mathematics is restricted to calculations only. Okay. And I think Prachotan or Krishna will share the screen and talk to you about the concepts which are taught, because math is not only about calculations, right? Math is about this. Now, how do I look at math? Is essentially that there is math. Calculations are a way to train your brain. Yeah. Geometrical understanding is something which can train a child's ability to visualize. Yeah. Same time, algebra and abstract mathematics is something which will make the child ready for STEM fields, right? Science, technology, engineering, or whatever fields. The same time, discrete mathematics is something which has its applications directly in art, social sciences, and humanities backgrounds as well, right? And broadly, if you see that there are a lot of other things which mathematics in general has to talk about. So Vedic mathematics is just a bunch of tricks which can make you do quick calculations, but that doesn't help in the journey of a child's discovery towards what numbers are and what they are capable of doing. And maybe I will take a couple of questions from people who raise their hands, because In the comment sections, I'm losing a lot of questions. Maybe we can take one after the other. Prachotan, once someone asks, we'll see who of which was will take that answer.
Sure. Great.
Anyone who can raise your hand, maybe that will be easier for us.
If parents have any questions,
Or
even if
also,
the
any question
students, yeah.
whatsoever, you can just raise your hand on the video.
Same questions, Vijay, the first.
Abhi's side. Abhi, hello.
Bhanu, thanks a lot for teaching all this. Like I think it's 4 sessions, right? So if you enroll to the program, who is going to teach? Is it you or is it by your staff?
Sir, so I personally only do the curriculum creation and the development at the Exploring Infinities, because one thing is, as you see, right, sir, right now in this class, there are 80 people. Yeah. Now, 80 people is not a conducive environment for making children curious or established to a point of contact. So we have around a group of 25 inner circle trainers who have worked with me on curriculum creation, which is paralleled with a bunch of games, repositories, classes, and assignments, which are a part of this program. I take a bunch of sessions myself, but these are done by trainers who've been in active training for over a year and a half as the program, and the classes are usually 1:5. So every student, every teacher has around 5 to 6 students in a class, happens twice a week. That's essentially how these are modeled. Yeah.
Can we get a curriculum before enrolling itself? Or
no, sure. I think already Krishna and Prachotan will be running you through even right now in the next 5 minutes or so, and you'll be getting them on an email anyway. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Yeah. So the reason to add on to Mr. Bhanu, so like Mr. Bhanu said, so when we have 80 students or say 40 students in a class, yes, we can have a very good competitive environment where, a lot of students can excel in mathematics or become much faster. But will they actually get the personal attention that they deserve? Not really, right? That is the reason our class sizes are very small, very good and very friendly environments for students to learn and progress further. And more importantly, everyone who will be taking these classes are a part of Mr. Bhanu's inner circle. And they are a very close-knit group of curriculum researchers and very proficient people in mathematics who are very passionate in interacting with children as well.
So Rayan has asked me a question. So Krishna, maybe you can take it. Are these classes based only on the 4 operators, or do they learn geometry and other stuff? Maybe this is your thing to take, because what we do of the 4 operators of calculation are only 1/10th of what we do. So maybe you can take that, Krishna.
And Krishna, absolutely. Maybe you can share the curriculum also, so that on the screen everyone or all the parents can see it.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for asking the question. Is the entire course related to the 4 operators only? Well, definitely it isn't. Math is much beyond what arithmetic is. So we're going to teach a lot of things which are beyond arithmetic, which will give you a clear understanding of what is mathematics, and more importantly, what are the real life applications of mathematics, so that you'll exactly know whatever you may pursue in the future in anything in STEM fields. So you'll exactly know what kind of mathematics is used where.
So I think Krishna, before you share the screen, I just want to tell everyone that how many of you have your children say that I want to become an astronaut at some point of the time or the other, right? Now, the difference between someone being someone excelling in the physical fields is that it's simple, right? You watch one space film, you want to become an astronaut. Everyone, including me, as a child, I wanted to become an astronaut, right? You watch one space film and it's very cool. But the sustainable interest is only possible when the capacities are matched with the prowess which is needed, usually the bridge being mathematics. Krishna will probably share on the screen on what this curriculum looks like.
Absolutely. Here we go. So I hope everyone can see the screen. We have a course called Math Wizard for all the students in the age group of 6 to 10, where you'll be doing your calculations, the 4 operators. You'll be becoming 3x quicker, right? So additions, multiplications, subtractions, and divisions. You'll be becoming 3 times quicker. And for basic calculations, you'll never have to use any pen or a paper or calculator for that matter. So that's something that will anyway happen, right? And beyond which there is brain training, cognitive ability development, about which Mr. Bhanu has already spoken about, and also fun ways to learn higher concepts of mathematics. So right from a very young age, you'll be learning a lot of higher concepts, which are usually introduced at a much higher level. I'm coming to the curriculum as well very soon. So I hope everyone can see the screen, right? Okay. Now, this is what it is, and I'll be sharing all of this with everyone into your emails. So I believe we have all of your emails, and you'll be receiving the same file to your emails once we end this session as well. So even though you're very young, you'll be learning about what is a set, what is optimization, what are fractions, what are decimals, what are different kinds of number systems. For example, in math and music, you must have seen an alien with 6 fingers or 7 fingers, right? We're going to talk a lot about different kinds of number systems and how do we use them in real life. And also, that's not the end of it. In 1 year, it will transform you completely in terms of mathematics, right? But don't worry, this file will be shared with you. This PDF will be shared with you over email very
I think
soon.
to broadly answer the question was that, yes, geometry, technological, mathematical thought processes, cognitive ability development, and more importantly, all of these will make sense, but they will make sense when one flows to the other, because we believe that math is an ocean. Everything is a part of the ocean, but you need to navigate through it very well. The moment you're not navigating through it very well, the waves hit you hard. And I think that is why it's very, what do we say? We're very conscious about how we teach. The classes are slightly different in terms of how they are modeled for a 6-year-old versus how they are modeled for a 10-year-old. Because of the fact that we expect a 6-year-old to not even understand tables when they come in. If that's the question, because someone else asked in the comment section, do you want children who are very intelligent? No, that is totally not the point. There is no one who's not intelligent. To be genuinely putting it this way, it takes only one good teacher to transform a child's ability into learning math. And for someone who's coming at the age of 6, we expect them to know only 2 things. Do they know numbers till 50? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 1, 10, 2, even if they don't know 11, 12, that's fine. If they understand that it's 10 and 1, 10 and 2, 10 and 3, that's also okay. And if they can understand what multiplication even means. If they don't also, it's fine. We have a lot of people who don't. We have 5-year-olds who are a part of the program. Another question is.
You're on mute, Mr. Bhanu.
Yeah, another question was, what is the weekly commitment? The weekly commitment of any student who joins this is 2 hours of classes and 10 minutes a day. It's 10 minutes a day, which is the calculations and the assignments we give them, which is usually games, guys. We don't give assignments which are papers and you want to print out and write and whatever. We give them games to play. We say, you play 10 minutes of this game, that's enough, right? And it's 1 hour session twice a week, usually on a weekday or a weekend, or a weekend or a weekend, depends on how it is put in. There is only one prerequisite for a child to join in. Actually, 2 prerequisites, one for the parent and one for the child. I think the prerequisite for the student is that they understand numbers till 50. That's it. That's the only prerequisite we have. The prerequisite for the parent is, as long as you're not forcing them into this, that's enough. I think because the prerequisite for the parent is that if you think your child will be happy being a part of this course, then you should. And only that. I think that's what your measurement also should be for the first 2-3 months. It's not about, oh, has my child become easy doing 20 questions a day? I don't think that should matter. It should be in a position where children themselves take out those 10 minutes to practice because they like it, right? Otherwise, they're gonna, because it's something which you want them to fall in love with. You can't force it. So that's the answer to the question. And
one more question that I've seen from a couple of parents is that will my child be able to understand all these advanced concepts? A lot of parents might be thinking, oh, these are a lot of topics, but my child is only 6-year-old, but my child is only 9-year-old. How will he or she understand all these things? Let me tell you that all the topics that you think are advanced, which are taught much, much later in schools, actually need very few prerequisites. For example, many of the parents would agree that algebra is something to be fearful of. Algebra means something which is slightly tough. It maybe the students have to wait till 6th grade or 7th grade to learn it, but not really, because if they understand how numbers work, if they understand how fundamental operations work, and if they are rightly introduced to what a variable means, I'm pretty sure all the parents agree that even a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old can actually do algebra, and we have actually seen them do that, right? It's not like, yeah.
And the most important part is without pressure.
Yeah.
How many of you understood yesterday's session on music entirely?
That's
Did
very
you?
good.
For all the parents here, the session which was there yesterday used set theoretical concepts to teach. If you know what set theory is, it's an advanced form of mathematics, which we have seen children do much better than adults. So these are, I think, good testaments. And the curriculum which you saw in front of you is not something which we thought is good. It's something which we have experimented with over 10,000 children to see what is the best things to teach to a 6 to 10-year-old in what part of the world, depending on whether they are from the United States or whether they're from the UK, whether they are from the Cambridge curriculum or whether they're from the IB, whether they're in India, whether they're an Indian student in the US, and stuff like that. The commitment, as I mentioned, is 2 hours per week and 10 minutes a day for this. And I think someone else is asking me, is there a curriculum for middle schoolers? Yes, there is one curriculum for 6 to 10-year-olds and 11 to 17-year-olds. And the same thing continues. We actually have students who are even 52, 35, 86-year-old as well in other courseware, because I think math has no age which is associated with it.
Yeah. I've got another question. How many months course is suggested? We strongly advise you to try the 1-year course, because across 2 months only you can easily observe that your child will be doing 4 times quicker without using pen and paper. But like Mr. Bhanu said, that's not the end of the story, and that's not actually of that much of a paramount importance, if I can say that. But if you want to take this basic level understanding to a whole new level, you need to be engaged for a longer period of time. So we highly advise all the parents to try the 1-year course, right?
So basically my comparison to this is simple, guys. For all the people in the US, do people here know what Kumon is?
Kumon.
Yeah. I'm sure some of you do go to Kumon also. I assume some of you do, maybe. Yeah. So on an average, a Kumon learning program tells you to take a Kumon learning program for 3 years to become quicker in calculations alone, right? We believe that a child can be quicker in calculations in 3 months, right? Because it's this, right? If you want to run quickly, will you keep running for 3 years? No, right? You'll do diet. You'll do diet planning. You'll do exercise. You'll do gym. You'll do something else also. So it's, I think, something problematic with Abacus, Vedic math, or Kumon in general. While I advocate for that, saying that they are still promoting math, is that we are becoming robots who are replicating a method. We are not thinking properly. We're doing something which, it's like, would copying 200 poems onto a paper make your child a poet? Right? I mean, would reciting Shakespeare 100 times make you write a Shakespeare? Not really. Right? That is the difference between these. And that's the reason why we think that for a child's curiosity to build, it takes at least 6 months. From that, the child's ability to capitalize on it takes 6 months more, which is why 1 year is what we advise. Even if we don't, people who join in for 6 months also eventually go for the 1 year. I think that's how it is. And broadly, that's how I look at it. And a lot of people are asking, how do we contact, how do we know more about these courses and stuff like that? I think, is everyone a part of the WhatsApp group, which is there. Yeah. I think we'll be sharing across a PDF with the course details and a phone number to which you can reply to know more about our contact. And I think
Or actually,
maybe,
you know, our teammates, everyone will contact each and every parent. So do
and
not
maybe,
worry about that as well. Yeah.
yeah, and maybe Prachodan, you can also share the phone numbers. I think Krishna has put in, but there's one phone number.
Yeah.
Maybe you can contact that. What I believe, guys, is simple. We at Exploring Infinities have brought or started out the math revolution in India. We believe that we would want to continue this in the United States, starting with the community of Tana, because of the fact we have run this with multiple organizations in the past. If you have known, maybe you can search out for Exploring Infinities and UNESCO. We have done an event with UNESCO in the past on cultural and heritage building and through math and stuff like this. We believe that the first 100 or 200 people of who will represent what our learnings are would be someone from communities like the Tana, because I'm from Prachotan, Krishna, me, Uday, all of these people. We are all from Hyderabad, and we believe that Hyderabad should be, or let's say India should be the center of mathematical revolution, because the old Japanese or the Chinese methods are obsolete. They're beyond what would make your child the what do we say, the maestro of their own particular field in tomorrow. The sessions will be in English. The teachers will be English speaking ones. There will be language variations. Some teachers are comfortable with Hindi, some comfortable with Telugu speaking also, but they're all English major centered. We have a couple of them even in other languages, which we are piloting out in Portuguese and Spanish, I think in a couple of months. But for now, it's in English. And yeah, and we have a very, very, very solid base of people. You should actually go search about our US winning. We have a bunch of Olympic, we have people, for people who would want to know, a bunch of our students who have done courseware with us are competing against me in the Olympic championship, which I'm taking part again this year. So I think that speaks of success. Cool. Maybe I'll share a small video, I think that which I think everyone wanted to, about what we at Exploring Infinities do, before which it's 2 hours per week.
Parents, just a second, Bhanu. I got a question from one of the parents asking what will be the duration of each session. The duration of each session will be 1 hour, guys. So yeah, please continue.
I'm going to play a video, and after that we'll come back to the questions. Maybe I'll just play the video here, because we are also close on the 1 hour mark, and we have another session for the other age group starting out. But let me share this.
And to every parent, they will be getting a call from our team today. So please make sure that you're active, so that you know you can subscribe to these courses. And for especially Tana members, we do have good discounts. So all that things can be discussed over call, so that you know you can wait for our teammates to give you a call. Yeah.
Do you look at math books and feel frightened? Is math the hardest subject for you at school? Do you dread giving exams and getting test results? Are you math phobic too? If so, don't you worry. Exploring Infinities is the answer to all your problems. At Exploring Infinities, we don't just teach math, we spark curiosity. With our specially designed course plan by the world's fastest human calculator, we not only make children 2 to 3 times faster, but we do something more. We instigate cognitive ability development through arithmetic learning. That's right, we give children a new perspective at looking at the world with the help of math.
Sign up for Exploring Infinities, because the end of your math phobia is just one click away.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining, everyone, all the parents and all the students. Yes, Mr. Bhanu.
And very, very glad that a lot of parents have joined in. Last but not the least, we are starting out, I think, 3 to 4 batches of let's say classes for the students in the US, be it on the East Coast or be it the other coast or wherever you are, depending on the time zones. And these are batches which I personally am very interested in, because I will be traveling to the United States sometime in the next couple of months, or whenever the travel restrictions from India are lifted, to do a bunch of shows. So we are interested to have children on board right now so that we can build out a community. So looking forward to having or seeing all of you guys as a part of these programs. I will be a part of these classes sometimes too myself. And yeah, as Krishna and Prachodan mentioned, there are offers for Tana members for the next couple of days, if I'm not wrong, because there are 4 or 5 batches which we are starting out. So make sure that all the parents are a part here. And I think last but not the least, we are also looking for having influencers and community members and let's say parents who are interested in teaching in general, people who are highly qualified to be a part of expanding Exploring Infinity's journey into the United States. So there'll be a small poster like this. I'm just gonna share it right now. A small poster like this, which will be sent out with a Google form, which is for partnering with at least, I think, 30 individuals. This is a campaign which we've been running for a few months now, finding 30 individuals to carry Exploring Infinities' efforts into the United States of partnering with me. And more or less think of this as our process extension arms, where we are trying to expand ourselves into the United States and become a meaningful brand, become a meaningful curriculum, and revolutionize the way math education is in the United States, giving it the Indian flavor. So parents who are interested about this, maybe you can fill in the form there. But I'm looking forward to have at least 40 to 50 people out of these 75 people right now to be a part of these courses. The pricing and everything else, I think, will be discussed to, talked about, and whatever. But broadly, even if you are, or whether you are not a part of this program, I thank Tana and I thank all the parents to take out 1 hour on your Sunday, which I think is a good thing to do, to talk and have a conversation around mathematics. Maybe I'll take one more question. And the teachers are based out of India or the US. It entirely depends, Upasana. It depends on where and what kind of teacher we are deploying. Usually the teachers are from India because they work with me in the morning and teach in the night. That's usually how it is for the students in the United States, right? Because you're 12 hours away from us almost. And it's night for us now. So there are high quality trainers. I think on an average, I think the pricing of the classes is somewhere around $14 to $15 a class, just so that, I think would clear it out. But there are some attractive discounts for you guys to sort of take that plunge. What I believe is that you can be a part of this math revolution. And most importantly, you're going to see more of Exploring Infinities in the next 6 to 7 months, because we are being promoted actively by the Indian government. We are being actively promoted by a lot of other places. So maybe you should look out for it broadly, but bottom line, make your children have fun with math. And you can subscribe as early as today until the next couple of days to be a part of the sessions, which I will be a part of a little, but also later. But yeah, do make sure that you think about it, but broadly have a conversation with your child. I think that's what I would want you to do. Every parent here, what did they learn? What did they understand? Do they really like it, or what separates it? Ask these questions. I think you'll understand. The timings and the days, I think Anshul, my team will be more than happy to share with you. Make sure that you follow the WhatsApp group. Yeah. And you can message the WhatsApp number. I'm going to write it out down once again. The number is +91 76809 47579. Just send it a hi message from Dana or something of that sort so that my team can take it up. Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you had fun and hope this was helpful. And see you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye. See you.
Thank you. Thank you. See you in the main courses. Thank you.